What's up guys, it's all Anthony, and today I am making a very quick install video of me installing my new steering wheel on my Honda Civic. This is a Honda AP1 S2000 steering wheel from a 2003 Honda S2000. This is by far one of the biggest mods I've been looking forward to install on my Civic. I've been in search of one of these for a very long time, and I finally stumbled across one on eBay for a good deal. This is one of my favorite Honda steering wheels pretty much of all time, and I love that it's a direct swap for the 96 to 2000 Honda Civics. I'm sure this fits other years of the Honda Civic as well, but there may be some other modifications included. This is basically a direct swap, which is really easy and really fast to do, but I thought I'd make a quick video, and maybe this could be helpful for those who want to put an S2000 steering wheel on a Honda Civic yourself. So with that said, let's get started. All right, so first things first, we need to disconnect the negative battery terminal on the battery. So we're gonna pop the hood here, walk over to the battery, and we're gonna disconnect this guy right here. You definitely want to disconnect that battery, because if for any reason the airbag decides to deploy during the install, whether it's the removal of the old steering wheel or the new one, you're gonna have a pretty bad day. So after you do that, you're gonna give it a couple minutes, wait 15 minutes or so to let everything settle, and then what we'll do in the meantime is go over this current steering wheel and go over what we need to disconnect the OEM one. All right, with being back in the car, we can get started on a couple things, but I did want to point out what I'm talking about with the steering wheel. I don't know if you guys can see this, but basically this whole steering wheel is just deteriorating. Every time I put my hand on here, I have all this rubber that just falls off, and this is why I'm not a fan of rubber wheels. This thing has definitely seen a ton of sun in its day, and every time I put my hand on it, I always complain because I have all this rubber on my hand, and it's just, I don't know, I hate it, and it really annoys me. So having a new leather wrap steering wheel is pretty exciting. So with that said, what we're gonna do first is we're gonna move these side panels here. Now this is literally, you don't need any tools, just use your fingernail. There's one side panel right here, which just clips in. And then on the other side, we have our other one, which just clips out as well. So what we're gonna need is we're gonna need some Torx wrenches or some Torx screws here. And as you can see, my little tool here has completely fallen apart, but we're just gonna go ahead and size this up and see what size it is. And that looks, yeah, and that's the one that doesn't happen to be on the actual handle. That's the one we need to use to start removing things. What I ended up doing was just swapping out this bolt out of this one, since I was missing that one, and putting it onto the other side. And that right there, guys, is called engineering. So we're gonna go ahead and stick that into there and start to loosen this. Keep in mind, I think this is really on there though. There we go. Yeah, those are on there pretty damn tight, not gonna lie. We have one over here on this other side. Be careful though, because if you hit your little switch there, you're gonna have a bad day. There we go. Man, that was on there. Holy shit, that was tight. All right. Holy crap. That was on there super tight. Okay, so we need to keep that steering wheel literally as straight as possible, because if that gets off on the splines at all whatsoever, then you're gonna have to redo this whole thing again. So at this point, this should, in theory, there we go, just pop off. And what we need to do is we need to disconnect the airbag, which is right there, and then that is the horn right there on the black. So basically, yellow is to the airbag, black is to the horn. So you're just going to push in and wiggle that thing off as best you can. Helps if you have an extra pair of hands, but I know most people are going to be doing this themselves, so I'm going to try to probably just clip this off of here, to be honest. Just like that. That just wiggles off. And there we go. And that's how to remove the Honda Civic airbag. So if you're curious on how to remove just the airbag alone, that's how to do it. So this whole thing just pops off and you can see a bunch of ground wires and all that on the back side. So that's that. Set that aside for safekeeping, especially if you plan on keeping the OEM steering wheel to maybe revert back to stock one day, like I'm planning on doing. I'm definitely not selling the Civic with the S2000 steering wheel in it. I like it way too much, so I'll probably be taking it if I ever sell this car. All right, so after removing those, the next thing we need to do is clip off this cruise control here. So that's just one clip, bam, pops right off. So we're just gonna push on this and pry that off. Here we go. All right, so with that off, we're gonna go ahead and get a 19mm wrench, loosen this up, and then we're gonna back the steering wheel off of the actual column while keeping the splines straight, because again, that's really important. We wanna keep this directly in line with how it needs to be. And then that's gonna slide off and we're gonna put the new steering wheel on to the mount. All right, so with the 19mm socket, this is completely overkill. This is all I had for this attachment on a 19mm is a breaker bar. And this is actually pretty helpful. So basically what I just did is I just attached that onto this itself, held on with my knees and my hand, and then just twisted. And so I was able to actually break it loose. So again, we are not going to completely remove it. We're just gonna back it out, because the next step is we need to take this wheel here and back it off of the column. So we're just going to back it off a decent amount, not completely remove it, and then give this, basically just give this a yank. That is on there damn good. There we go. Now, that's that. Okay, so that is out. Just set that over to the side, and now we are going to bring in the new one. So again, you're just going to feed all those wires through there. All right, there we go. Okay, and that's through. Everything's on. All right, so with the steering wheel on, and check the wheels, make sure they're still straight. We're gonna go ahead and just put back on the 19mm nut and screw that back on. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna kind of cinch it tight for right now so it doesn't move at all. Put that on there. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna give this a quick little tighten. Keep the wheel straight. Like that. Slides right back on over this piece right here. Slides up and clips in. So that's the horn. So this is the cruise control setup right here. Because this is a 3 flat prong coming from the S2000 and the stock is like a 4 square prong, I'm not gonna hook it up. I'm just gonna simply just kind of set it up in there like that and kind of call it good and keep it out of the way. Next thing I'm gonna do is grab this right here, set that off to the side, and grab my grab the airbag. All right, so before we put the airbag back in, we're just gonna go ahead and make sure this is tightened. I'll give this one last little twist here. Yeah, that's on there. That's on there pretty damn good. That's not coming off. So now with that tightened, basically what I did for wiring these is these top ones for the cruise control went on through this clip. From the actual steering wheel went into this top clip, and it's just kind of resting in there lightly. The horn came down through that clip right there and onto that little metal toggle. And now for the yellow and green, I wired them down through that clip because this is the tighter of the two clips, and kind of rested that into that. So basically what is going to happen now is this is going to attach down through here. I'm gonna slide that down inside that. All right, so that's in there. That's all clipped in. So then this should just slide right in over the top there. Just like that. Yeah, that looks awesome. Crap, that looks really cool. So make sure there's plenty of room there, because I actually have side covers coming in the mail, because this didn't come with it, that are going to clip into that and cover that that extra wiring there, and then cover that. So Basically there's 2 screw holes, the same mounts that we used for the stock one. These bolts are going to, these guys right here, grab these stock OEM bolts with those Torx screws on them, and then we're gonna go back through and put those back in and tighten them up, and I think we're gonna be good to go. And for anybody wondering what the size difference is between the two, this is the OEM wheel, and this is the stock wheel. It's kind of hard to tell in this video here, but I mean, that is a whole hell of a lot bigger than this thing is. This is much smaller, much sportier. I am super happy with this. All right, so with everything buttoned in and looking awesome, we're gonna go ahead and reattach the battery cable on here and pray to God that that airbag does not deploy. I didn't hear any pop, so that's good. Just tighten that down. All right, so first thing, let's check and see if the horn works. And it does. The horn works. Gonna go ahead and, gosh, this is just, call me cautious, but I'm going to just turn on the car like this. All right, airbag didn't deploy, SRS light is off, and we're good to go, guys. Yeah, I'm excited. Wow, look at this. Oh my gosh, that feels, I can't even tell you how much better that feels. This is, oh my gosh, night and day difference. It feels like I'm driving a completely different car. And of course I still have my my telescopic, not my telescopic, but my what do you call this, my tilt, right? Tilt on my wheel. Still have my control on that. Oh man, that feels so much better. So let's go rip around really quick and see how I like driving with it. All right guys, so I've only been driving for about 30 seconds, and yet this feels like a completely different car. I shit you not. I'm not just saying that either. Just, it's how much difference, how much visceral experience this just, it makes. I mean, it's just a huge difference. I mean, this is it feels like a different experience, basically is what I'm trying to say, is that, I don't know. It feels tighter. I feel more connected with the road, and I know this isn't saying much, guys. I know I'm talking about a Honda Civic here, but I mean, it just really, yeah, it makes it. I mean, that in combination with this little skunk 2-weighted shift knob I have, it totally makes it feel like a different car. I love it, man. That 10-2 grip feels awesome. I love the AP1 steering wheel, how basically there's a difference between this perforated leather and then just the flat leather up top and bottom there. But this thing, honestly, man, this thing's pretty mint. It's in really, really good condition, but just, wow. I mean, I can't believe. All right, guys, so the GoPro died, as usual. Nothing new there with the life of all day Anthony, always forgetting to charge my shit. But anyways, guys, this steering wheel feels awesome. I'm absolutely in love with this. It feels like I'm driving a different car. I know, like I said, I keep saying that and it sounds stupid, but it really does. It feels so much better. This thing's in really good condition. I'm really happy with the purchase there. For anybody that's curious, I did get off of eBay, and it was a little over $200. It was about $220 shipped. And the guy said it was mint, and he wasn't kidding. This thing's in really good condition for the age. So I'll probably just put a little bit of some leather conditioner on here to keep it looking good. But this steering wheel is going with me. If this Civic, I ever sell this thing, this is going on my next Civic, because I absolutely love this. This has been an awesome buy. However, I recommend that if you do this mod, I recommend getting yourself one of these club bars, especially if you live in a ghetto area. That way nobody steals your shit. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys found this video helpful. Maybe if you're interested in installing it yourself, or just curious what the look is once you get the S2000 steering wheel. It seems to match everything pretty well, and I'm really happy with it. So as usual, guys, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. You guys can subscribe for more, and I'll catch you in the next one. This is All Day Anthony. Peace.